But here's the other thing about pain. It's familiar. So if you think about it, we're staying in that cycle because of familiarity. So we can get very familiar with our pain and hold on to it. And that can make us feel, but we're not living. We're still deluded by believing that's going to make us, it's not really going to make us happy. It doesn't make us free. It doesn't allow us to live a full life. Um, it prevents us from doing all those things, and it prevents us really from I guess being our true selves. And I think our true selves are not in pain. We're not drama ridden. I think our true nature is positive, optimistic, hopeful. And that's
Mm.
basically what happened to me when I went through all of this. I'm like, gosh, I am I'm not a miserable, unhappy person. And I've been through all of this hardship and all this suffering. And then I moved to some place where I didn't even know anyone. But I am totally free. I'm out from under all of that. So those people who are doing that, they're not in alignment with their true nature.
I track with you. I track with you. Now, we can say this and we can talk this, but I what Napoleon Hill said to do is always ask people, what's your evidence for this? You say science supports all this. Share with us how science supports your theories here.
Oh boy. So in my TED talk,
Yeah.
I know, and I am not a scientific person at all, but I just thought different people can relate on different levels to different things, which is why I use certain quotes in there. I talk about Mary Poppins because I wanted to for people to be able to identify on whatever level they're on, and some people identify on a very scientific level. So I talk about Isaac Newton,
Right.
and I mentioned that the law of inertia is we stay the way that we are, either in rest or motion, unless force is applied. So in my mind, I analogized force with some kind of hardship that comes and smacks us in the head. Okay. And so when that happens, we start naturally, based on science,
Mhm.
start spinning around. Whatever we were doing before, we go in a different direction. Okay.
Right. Right.
However, so that's a natural thing. And when that happens, if that happens, and we allow ourselves to go with that and be flexible enough to where that can take us, we can start to see things differently because the world will look different.
Okay.
People will look different. Things will look different. Opportunities will come up that we didn't see because we're in a different place.
Different orbit. Yeah.
We are in a different orbit. But what we wind up doing, so many of us, is, oh no, holding on, as I say, to that merry-go-round, because that was a good analogy for me,
To us.
more tightly. And we say, this can't be happening. We are resisting. Okay. So we resist that natural law. So then, if we look at Einstein, okay,
Mm.
Einstein says that everything moves in relationship to everything else. So naturally, if we are knocked off the merry-go-round and something happens and we're in a different orbit, okay, we're going to see things differently because we're going to
Right.
be in a different place. And when we're in a different place, our perspective changes.
Okay.
It's a
Okay.
natural phenomenon that our perspective is going to change. So these are all natural laws that happen. And again, sometimes we grab onto the merry-go-round because we need to grieve, because we need to, like for me, I need to keep my children in their house, in their schools. I need to keep them stable. And mom needs to get her act together a little bit so she can take care of them and launch them into the world. Those are natural, but eventually you've got to let go and fly
Right.
back off and
And
see
okay.
things the way that, because the world is continuing to go. Nothing else is staying the same. Everything else is starting to change around you.
Yeah, and the longer you fight that change, the harder the change becomes, but you're going to have to make the change. I think I took what you said, and I'm going to ask you about something else too, but I took what you said from the science of it, from the macro, all the way down micro. Macro, you moving to Savannah. That was a change, right? It made everything change for you. Everything, how you viewed everything. Do you recommend that heavy of a change in some of these life events?
I think that we can't all do that.
No.
I think that we so I don't recommend that as a template necessarily because I think that we have a lot of I think what I did for me at my stage in life, the kids were off, I was able to do that. That was within the my ability to do. Perhaps some people financially can't do it. Maybe they're disabled. Who knows? I didn't have a partner. I didn't have any kids at home now. So I was free to do those things. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I just think that we have a lot of templates out there like the eat pray love scenario. Let's just that I think is not and that is sold to our society as reality. That's not reality. So I think that we have a lot of things sold as reality that are not reality. Um,
Hmm.
and so people then can get unhappy. Oh, I can't do that. I can't do that. That would be the answer. It's not the answer because it's just going off to find another partner.
Well, yeah, and what I found, we can drive it from the large, like you moving down on
Right.
small, maybe taking a different path to work than what you normally take. I'm wondering if you those type of changes, because you're seeing something different on the route.